Hello student, how are you all? I hope you all are well at your home. Welcome in Sanskar Public School e-learning session. Welcome in e-learning session of class 10th of Political Science, that is chapter number 4. It is the gender, religion and caste. It is very interesting and important chapter for us because in this chapter we are going to learn about the bias, discriminations which have done on the basis of color, sex and the gender. Whatever we have seen in our society and we are going seeing in daily life, we will discuss and we are learn about these things. So now let's start to know well about the discrimination and the bias, which is became the important part and the common part of our daily life. Now let's start the very important topic of political science, that is called the gender, religion and caste system. In this chapter, we will discuss about the present conditions and the previous condition of the gender, because in our country nowadays the lot of discrimination and bias is there on behalf of the gender, behalf of the caste, behalf of the creed, etc. So now in this chapter we will discuss about that. Social differences, we should say that this is not only the discrimination and the caste system, even it is the social differences. Yani ki in this chapter we will discuss ki on what basis we have to be faced the social differences and the discrimination. So in this chapter there's too many points are there. The social differences have done, has created on basis of the gender, basis of the religion, basis of the caste, creed, sex ratio and the races also. For an example, first let's discuss about the gender. Because in our society, those who are having the old mythology and the orthodox practice, they have to thought that among the gender, yani boys only is having a right to do the job, to getting the higher education and to participate in the social activity and the political activity, not to the girls. But nowadays, the government has started a lot of policies and a lot of thing to be for the girls, to protect the girls and to motivate the girls and to increase the presentation of the girls. That's why the government has started a lot of policies and the representation of women in the parliament also. Nowadays only the 9% parliament presentation is represented by the women in Indian parliament, but our government motto is the 50%. They want that at least 50% women should represent in the Indian parliament. That's why they have to reserve the 1/3 seat of the total seats of the parliament in the Indian parliament. Now the religion. In our country, there's a lot of bias out there also about the religion, because they thought that only the Hindu religion is the great and the Muslim religion is great. That's why in which area there is a majority of the Muslim community, only Hindu has to be treated badly and they have to be tortured by the Muslim community. Means that in which area only any religion will in our majority, that religion will be dominate to the other religion people. And that's why on behalf basis of the religion we have to face the many of time we have to face the Camel riot. Camel riot means the one religion has to be try to dominate the other religions people. Next is the caste system. Caste system is very old tradition and the old orthodox practice in our society, because in that the people try to be dominate the scheduled caste and to be tortured badly to the SC, ST and OBC and those who are the poor. One more discrimination is there about the money minded. Those who are having a lot of money, those who are very rich, they try to be dominate, they try treated badly. They treated us like the slave and the personal property to the poor person. The same as those who were the caste system, those who are the Brahmins, because Brahmins is in the not a majority, they are in the minority, and those who are the other caste, the other caste try to dominate because they got the reservation from the government, and due to that reservation they have to be occupied the higher post in the society. When they have to be occupied the higher post, they try to be dominate them. I'm giving an example. For an example, in a organization, in an institute, if the 50 people who are doing the job there, 50 people are doing the job there, among these 54 people, let's suppose that only the 5 to 6 people are the one caste and the SC caste or the ST caste, and the rest of remain peoples are belong to the higher caste. So these higher caste people make the majority and try to dominate these 5 to 6 poor people and the minor caste. Suppose that the 5 to 6 people belong to the Muslim community and the rest of people belong to the Hindu community, and the Hindu peoples make the majority, and these Hindu peoples try to dominate this Muslim community because they were not in majority in that organization, in that particular organization and institution, and that's why these 5 to 6 people have to treated badly. They never get the equality, they never treat equally, even the whatever privileges given by the owner of the institution, owner of the organization, that privileges will not getting equally by them. Yani ki their fundamental right will be violated there. Obviously in the previous chapter we have to be discussed about the fundamental rights also. So due to this gender, caste in the religion, due to the bias on these bases, especially in this chapter we will discuss about the bias, about the discrimination, about the domination, कि who dominate to whom, कौन किसको dominate करता है, and how they have to dominate, वो कैसे dominate करते हैं, and these system we have to read in this chapter. So now these are gender, religion and caste. Now the gender discrimination. First of all we will discuss about the gender discrimination, कि how the gender is to be discriminated. So gender is to be discriminated, divide the gender bias, because in the home also, each and every home, it is a common condition for each and every home and the society also in colonies. You can see this such type of the condition in your neighbor, in your family, in your relative, because those who are the boys, the families want to give the priority to the boys only. Those who can get the better education, higher education, they can go out to do the work, but the girls and the women are not allowed to do the work. They thought that women have to make to do the homework, and the home, these are only the things, means that they compare the women as the object, as the things to use. They think that women is not a human being and women is only the particular object, those who are made by the God to do the work of the home and to complete the requirement of the family person, not to living their life according to their will. But now this opinion has going to be changed due to the representation of the government, due to the actions, whatever actions taken by the government against of this policy, against of these opinions of the public. Now next is the division of the labor, because among the society the work is to be divided according to the caste system. They thought that how many big very prestigious work, this prestigious work has to be dedicated to only higher caste, and those who are the lower work and the cleanliness work and other work, these work is dedicated to only the scheduled caste and the SC caste, and especially for the males. Next is the domestic violence. Obviously domestic violence is very famous thing, and in that we have seen many of times the girls has to be suffered more, because they have to suffer more on the basis of the dowry, basis of the color, basis of the sex, basis of the education, basis of the other things also. If the girls are not beautiful, they have to be suffered in their family, the family persons and their in-laws family has to be tortured to them. If the girls is not educated, then they have to torture to them. And means if the family, girls families didn't give the dowry to them, they are not satisfied and they gave they are doing the crime, and they immediately they are involving in the crime. Next, the illiteracy. Obviously in our UP, Haryana and the other state has the illiteracy rate is not equal among the boys and the girls. Why? Because they want to give the priority to education. They thought that education is made only for the boys, only for the males, not for the women. That's why the most of the women and the females are the illiterate, and when they are illiterate, then she don't know their fundamental rights, and she has to suffer a lot of discrimination among the society, among the family, and among the whole life. In the whole life she has to face the discrimination. Next is the sex ratio. Obviously that is also the reason the sex ratio is not equal. Means that in our UP, Haryana and the other state, the sex ratio is like the 867 girls over 1000 boys. So can you imagine how much differences is there, how much long difference and the great difference between them. Means that after the 867 boys, rest of boys what will do? They will never get married because the girls is not there. Because at least it should not be more, but it should be equal. Only the Kerala state is there. In the Kerala, there are the 1000 girls, 1000 boys over the 1127 girls over the 1000 boys. Means that they promote the girls, they give the priority to the girls, and they follow the government rules. When the government told them to knowing the sex before the birth is illegal, they are following to that. But in the some states are not following to that, and they have to be created the illegal activities against of the government policy. Next is the salary bias. We know well, and at the same place, same institution, women are doing the work and the males are doing the work, but the females are getting the low salary in comparison of the males. Why? Because there is a bias. They thought that the female can do the more work in a little salary. That's why they are doing the bias. Means that in each and every place we can see that bias about the salary. Male are getting the more salary in comparison of the girls, and they are not doing the hard work and the more work in comparison of girls. Girls are doing the more work and getting the very little salary and low salary. Next is the property inheritance. Obviously, these are the factors: illiteracy, gender bias, sex ratio, salary bias, domestic violence, division of labor, property inheritance. It is also the mythology and the psychology of our society. Women are not having a right to property, but we know well in the 1769 when the French Revolution was to be started, then in this revolution the Marie Gold has start the revolution for the fundamental rights of the women, and she fought against the policies, and she told that women should also get the right to take participation in the social activities, in the social political activity, and she should also have a right to take the property, to keep the property. And after this, government also want to promote that women should also having a right to getting the property, and that's why they have to be started the one policy if women can purchase the property, women can keep the property, and that's why the Supreme Court, especially Supreme Court, also passed the GO and the order, and it told that if women is also having a right in the equal right in the property, parent property and the in-laws property, and the both property, the women can take the equal share. That is the means that the government want to remove the discrimination and the bias about that. They means we should say how much work is done by the government, but the government cannot be succeed to remove totally this discrimination and bias from the society until we will not aware, until we will not cooperate with the government and follow the policies of the government, whatever they have to be prepared to remove the discrimination from the society. So now let's know well by the animation of this system towards the bias and how the discrimination has done and how we have to face, हम कैसे face करते हैं, how हम इसका शिकार कैसे होते हैं, how the discrimination hunted to us, वो हमें कैसे hunt करता है, and how we have to be stuck into the discrimination, and what the ways and how many methods we can use, and what is the government policies we can use to protect ourselves, to protect our fundamental right, and how we have to raise our voice against this such type of the discrimination and the bias in the family, in the society, and in the anywhere. We should be aware about that. So let's start to discuss by the animation video.
Now we are going to learn about the social division. It means to divide the society on the basis of the old mythology and the orthodox of the people. Means whatever the psychology has adopted and accepted by the human beings in the society. In this video, we will discuss about on which basis the people have to create the differences among the boys and the girls, and what they think about the work process and the power of the girls and the boys. So now let's start to know more about the division, that how to divide the society on the basis of the sex.
Gender, religion and caste. Social division based on gender is almost seen everywhere. It is seen as natural and unchangeable. Social division is grown as a result of social expectation such as fashion industry view women as beauty. In-laws view women as a source of money. And commonly known public beliefs, that is, stereotypes such as men are stronger than women, men can do more work than women, girls are not good at sports. Public-private division. Boys and girls are made to believe that women do housework and bringing up children, and men do all the work outside the house. This is known as sexual division of labor. Like women, men can also do the work inside the house, but men simply thinks that it is the work of women. Even if women do outside work like working in farm, domestic helper, working in office and earn income, still their work is not valued and recognized. Even if women are about half of the humanity, but still they have minimal role in public life. Example, women cannot vote and participate in public affairs. Gradually, women from different parts organize themselves and raise movements for their rights. Such movements are called feminist movements. In many countries, movements was raised for right to vote. With this, they demanded improvement in political and legal status and also getting access to education and career opportunities. In some cases, women demanded equality in personal and family life as well. It helped to improve women's role in public life. Today women are working as scientists, doctors, engineers, lawyers, managers and teachers. In some countries such as Sweden, Norway and Finland, women's participation in public life is very high.